Dobry day,
Zdravейте!
and welcome back to our little Bulgarian adventure.
So we've come through the first week of September and it's been a kind of an eventful week really.
Yes, it has. We've had lovely weather.
Yes.
Really nice weather. It's been in the late 20s, early 30s.
Yes, it's cooled down and it's comfortable.
We've had a tiny bit of rain, nothing much, and we've also had nice breezes.
Yes, so all in all the weather is about perfect for us.
Yeah.
This is the week. But we also started the week with Max's birthday.
We did our usual trip to Varna for Max's birthday.
We had quite an eventful day. We did bowling, 10-pin bowling. We went for a meal. But we also went to the Retro Museum, which is situated in the Grand Mall in Varna.
Yeah.
And this is what it's like. For part of Max's birthday celebrations, he chose to go to the Retro Museum in Varna. It covers the period of 1944 to 1989, which encompasses the rule of the Bulgarian Communist Party, which ended in 1989. A large proportion of the museum is given over to vintage cars of the period. They're all in excellent condition. This is just an example of the cars here in Bulgaria at the time, ranging from VIP cars all the way down to the everyday car. All of the cars appear to have just come out of the factory. They're spotlessly clean. There are mirrors on the floor so you can see the underside of the cars, and it's very impressive. We have here an example where Dad could get the car, and there's even a little car for the son so that he can emulate his father. This is one of the cars that we have our eye on. It would be ideal for the village. The Lada Riva is basically an all-terrain vehicle. As for everyday cars, here's a collection of what could be described as everyday classics, Bulgarian style. This was certainly an era when the cars were built to last. The vans also are still on the road today. As well as civilian cars, there are also some military vehicles. We have these two Jeeps. Now if you want to cruise around Bulgaria in the summertime, music blasting, wind in your hair, this is the car to get. It's a Skoda, so if I'm going to have a Skoda, I think this is the one I want. And here we have a lovely example of a Wartburg with its two-tone paintwork. This has to be the epitome of cool. It also appears you can purchase some of the cars. These two were for sale, but I'm not sure we're in the market for one just at the moment. And finally, we're in the area of transport for Max. He doesn't drive yet, so until he can, this is what he's stuck with. Alongside the cars, there are also display cases showing various things from the same period. Here we have a display of money. We've got money from countries all across Eastern Europe, and of course quite a large selection of leather of different denominations. I'm not sure how much is there, but it does look to be a fair amount. There are also vintage Christmas decorations. Now I'm fairly sure my mum's still got some of these. This is quite a large array of clocks, various alarm clocks. Having all of these is one way to guarantee you're never late for work. I'm not sure we're in the market for a new vacuum cleaner, but there is a fair display here, quite a collection. I wonder if any of these would interest Len. There's also a large collection of toys from the period. Now these date back to, well, before I was a boy, so quite a long time. I'm fairly sure I may have had some of these. I spotted a football game, which I definitely had. And of course, as popular in almost every country, there's a large display of toy cars. We can also see some of the technology of the period. Here are some radios. Now I'm fairly sure we've got one very similar back in the UK. We move along the cabinet and we're up to the televisions. And back to the days before mobile phones. I'm sure you will remember something similar to this wherever you're from. And the contents of this cabinet can pretty much be replaced by your mobile phone. Yep, typing, phone calls, video, photographs. It's all in your pocket these days. In this case we have a display of vintage cigarettes. Now these are regional. We've got some from Varna, from Sofia, Schumann. It would appear you could get cigarettes from your own region rather than just a national brand. And in this cabinet we have matches and sets of matchboxes. These seem to have been released for special occasions. There's one here for the Moscow Olympics in 1980. And here's a selection of glass paperweights. Now these are also commemorative. There are some for the 8th of March, which is an important date here in Bulgaria.
It's International Women's Day, and it was first celebrated by socialists in Bulgaria in 1911. In 1915 it was celebrated publicly for the first time and became officially recognised as a holiday after 1944 when the communists took control.
A separate area in the museum is set aside for waxworks. You can see here we have various political figures. There's the former Bulgarian Prime Minister. There's Donald Trump. As you go around you may recognise some faces, you may not. At the far end we reach the revolutionaries. No, I don't mean Max and Lynn. We've got Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, and go a little further we have the fathers of socialism. It would appear Max has decided to have a staring contest with Castro. I have a feeling I know who's going to win. It's not going to be Max. And here's Lynn brushing up on the finer points of socialism with some fellas who probably know what they're talking about. And around the corner we hit the area where we have sports personalities along with film stars. Now, if you want to name them in the comments, go ahead. Amongst the film stars we have Daniel Craig, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Jim Carrey's there as well. Mr. Bean even puts in an appearance. Now I've told Lynn and Max if they want to blend in they have to stand very still, but neither would listen to me. Lynn has found a kindred spirit and a fellow Celt, Sean. And Max appears to have found a new position as a Pavarotti lookalike. So that's the Retro Museum. We spent a good hour in there looking around and it was an hour well spent. It's highly recommended from all of us.
Yes, I think we all enjoyed the Retro Museum.
Yes.
And the waxworks.
Yes. So now that we've got a new career path for Max, if you want to book him as a lookalike, let us know.
Yeah, he's practicing his singing nowadays.
Yes. He's kind of got the look of Pavarotti and the singing style of Chas and Dave.
A little bit, yeah.
So there we go.
It's a Cockney Pavarotti, maybe. We don't know.
There's a market for that, I'm sure.
But yes, we know we'd done well when we got back home and Max said, I've had a really good day.
Yes. Which made it all worthwhile.
That's high praise indeed from Max, especially
Definitely.
if he's been out of the house for that long.
And once again, we had dinner at Happy and outstanding again.
Yeah,
So,
the food was really good, reasonably priced.
yes, we thoroughly enjoyed it and we all came home.
Max got his sushi.
Max did get his sushi, he was very happy. So that was that. Then on Wednesday, it was a bank holiday here in Bulgaria.
Yes, it was Unification Day
Yes.
when East Bulgaria and Eastern Romania
Yes.
unified back in
85.
1885.
So that was a public holiday. So if you tried to go to the bank on Wednesday, you were out.
Yeah, you were at like. Sorry,
or anything official.
We forgot to tell you last week.
Sorry.
There is another public holiday coming up at the end of September. I think it's
We'll
the
let you know.
30th, but we'll check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, then after that it was back to the cellar.
Well, not back to we've been doing the cellar on and off all week.
Yeah.
Good news, the repointing is done.
Yes, the walls are all now repointed.
So we're almost at the point where we can move stuff down there. I've got to build a few benches and we're going to look at the
Some
floor.
shelving.
We've got a dirt floor down there, which we're keeping as a dirt floor, but we need to make a few minor repairs, as long as that's not too, what's the word I'm looking for?
time consuming.
Time consuming or intrusive.
Yeah.
If it takes the room out of commission for 3 weeks, we probably won't bother. But we'll see, and we'll let you know next week.
Yeah.
So
it's had a dirt floor for its whole life. It
Yes.
did have lino down on it, but I think that had just trapped.
it trapped moisture. And it was a bit damp when we took the lino up.
But we've had lino up for 2 years now. It's been fine.
Absolutely, yes.
So
There's nothing wrong with it at all. So we're going to stick with the dirt floor the way it was intended.
yeah,
Um,
and it'll help with the ventilation of the room.
yes, but it's going to be quite a nice room.
Yeah,
It'll
I think
be-
it will.
I won't be too disappointed when it says, Adam, get to the cellar.
It's gonna. We can restart your hobbies. I can
Yes.
see that happening.
Yes, beer is on the horizon. So.
Yay!
Yeah, so we can then get on with some of the more pressing jobs that need doing around here. Finishing off the inside restoration of the house, renovations.
Yeah, once the cellar's complete, we've only really got the top corridor and the
And
spare room
Yeah.
to finish. So we'll be doing those probably in conjunction.
Yes. I've got some new jobs to do as well. There's a loft ladder hatch to fit and things like that. But
That's in the spare room. Yeah.
that's in the spare room. So it won't just be me putting up another full ceiling. We'll try and make it a bit more varied for you. Lastly, but not leastly, as we mentioned last week, we're approaching us being here for 3 years and our 150th episode of this vlog. We've had a few questions in. If you have questions, please send them in. We've got 2 weeks until we're doing our question and answer session. So send them in and we'll do our best to answer them in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, I think that's about it for us this week.
Yes, you're fully up to date with what we've been up to.
Yeah, we've been enjoying, the weather, Max's birthday, and just relaxing for a bit.
Well, finishing off the cellar.
And finishing off the cellar.
So until next week, it's time to say,
Stay safe.
be well.
Skoro.
Do skoro.